Go on,
I was about to jump in there. I've just thought about something else, just away from this card. Talk to me about Chev Clarke, your mates at Boxer.
I mean, look, they said it wasn't them and it was Mick Hennig. I don't really care who it was. I'm just saying, don't mess with a fighter's career, because we've been waiting for 2 months for that fight to be called to purse bids. And for 2 months, we presumed we were fighting Isaac Chamberlain, right? Chev was supposed to fight in March or April, but we've had to wait because that fight got ordered. To pull out an hour before the purse bid, it's just frustrating. Like, if you really are doing it to go the European route, like against Sislak, I mean, who cares about Isaac Chamberlain against Sislak? What people care about is Isaac Chamberlain against Chev Clarke in a great domestic fight. And yes, that's the 5th one on the spin, but I get it, like, we're operating an elite stable. Every one of those 5 fights that were ordered, we would have won. So of course I want them.
Yeah.
But if you're not ready or you're not good enough, just pull out and let the fighter move on with his career. So that's more the frustration. And now we're looking to make Chev Clarke for the British title and hope to make an announcement today.
When you are in discussions, you say like you favoured your fighters in those fights. When perhaps a fight gets ordered and your fighter might be seen as the underdog, how much do you listen to the fighter? If they truly want to fight, do you let them go for it?
No, you listen to the team. You don't listen to the fighter, because the fighter will always think they can beat everyone. But sometimes the team get carried away with the opportunity and with the money, and you've got to weigh everything up. I mean, honestly, when Darren Barker fought Sergio Martinez,
I knew you were going to say this.
We actually thought he could win. But let's be honest as well, at the same time, it was a massive shot to nothing.
Yeah.
It was a load of money at the time. And we were like, what else is there to... Like, we're rolling the dice. Let's go and fight Sergio Martinez. If you win, well, you've hit the jackpot. And we know you're good enough to be competitive. So, and actually, that experience probably helped him beat Daniel Gill, because you'd been through that and you'd been in with that level before. You know,
it's mad. This is sport. You want to test yourself against the best. Like, I don't get it. You know, these people, the fighters that will duck people, swerve people. I don't understand it. I don't get it when you're in a sport where you want to just see how good you are. And that was the occasion for me, if I'm honest.
But the thing is, when you look at the fights here, and I truly believe that 10 times out of 10, Dawn Smith beats Adam Azim, it would be a cracker, right? The atmosphere would be incredible. Adam is more than good enough to be competitive in that fight. So what? If you get beat, you come back, you come again. But I do also understand that it's not always the right time for a fighter's career. But, you know, when Richard Riakporhe pulled out the Jai Opetaia fight, there was negotiations for over a month, and he pulled out on the day of the purse bid. Adam Azim pulled out against Dawn Smith the day before the purse bid, when they'd already decided well over 6 weeks before they weren't going to take the fight. Fraser Clarke pulled out on the day of the purse bid. Caroline Dubois against Beatrice Ferreira, they pulled out close to the purse bid. So if you don't fancy the fight, that's okay, but just do it a little bit earlier. And the fighters end up getting loads of stick. You know, like Fraser Clarke really struggled when they pulled him out because he wanted to fight, you know. So anyway, it is what it is. Chev will fight for the British title, but when you're operating at that level, not everyone can compete. Like the signing of Jaron Boots Ennis.
I was just about the next question.
Where, you know, you're sitting now and you're saying how stable, with Devin Haney fighting next week. And, you know, that is one of the biggest signings that certainly we've ever made. Like, the response to that, everybody knows. I had so many people from the industry messaging me last night going, wow, that is one hell of a signing. We just got to make sure that everyone knows just how great this kid is.
Future Hall of Famer.
Yeah, and pound for pound now. We've got to get him in the fights. We've got to get him undisputed at 47. He can move up. I want to see him fight Terence Crawford. You know, I mean, that's a fight that's been talked about, and Terence will only take that fight if it's big enough. I'll back Jaron Boots Ennis against anybody. And what a joy to be guiding this man's career.
When you look at the fighters you've signed recently, particularly not British fighters across the pond, world champions like Matias, like Boots, you look at the schedule on DAZN. What's encouraging these fighters to want to fight on DAZN now? What's changed about
activity? You know, look, no one wants to let you in. So people will get in a fighter's ear and say, don't sign with Hearn. You know, he's not going to bring you through. DAZN. What's DAZN? It's an app. All of a sudden, DAZN becomes the home of boxing. There isn't a big fight taking place in the world that's scheduled that isn't on DAZN. Every single fight. Haney against Garcia. Fury against Usyk. Canelo against Munguia. Taylor against Catterall, the 5v5, Bivol against Beterbiev, everything's on DAZN. So now the fighters are kind of looking at it going, hang on a minute, I can get activity, obviously I can get the best promoter in the world, and now I can also get the home of boxing. What am I waiting for? And I've got 4 or 5 fighters in the top 10, or if you want to debate it, top 15, pound for pound in the world who want to sign with us. We can't take everybody on because we've got to deliver for them. And we've got to give them activity. That's the key. But we've got to build them. That's a problem. These guys like Boots, why isn't he fighting in Philadelphia? Everyone knows who Boots... Like, this kid should be a god in Philadelphia. And he will be once we take him to the Wells Fargo Centre and give him that homecoming. But we know how to do it. And when you've got a fighter with a talent of Boots, it's a walk in the park for me. Easy.
Makes your job easier.
Yeah, of course. And you know, like I said, that's a massive signing.